Hey everybody, Alan here. A few days ago, I was talking about a problem I was having where I am using Excel to track some simple information about my upcoming travel, what event I'm going to, the start date, the end date, and the location. And I thought, hey, it would be nice to be able to have this in a calendar view. And I didn't know how to do that in native Excel or couldn't easily see how to do that in native Excel. So I did an example using Airtable, a web-based database product. And then I started thinking, well, there's lots of other ways that I could do it. And say, if you're not familiar with the database product, but you like sort of the familiarity of a spreadsheet, I'm going to do the same thing in a product called Smartsheet. So I'm going to copy the data here in Excel online. I'm going to go over to Smartsheet. And just like that last demo I did, it's very simple. I just create a new grid. That's what they call a sheet. Let's call it 2019 travel. I'm going to say OK. Let's open this up. And then guess what? I just paste the data in. I can do some formatting. Let's make these columns centered. Oops. Centered. I can even change these to make sure they are a date. So I'm going to edit the column properties, and I'm going to say that it's a date field. Say OK. I'm going to say date on this second one. You even notice there's a restrict to dates, so I can even make sure you can't type in anything else. So these are now dates, and now I have the information that I want. I could go up here and I could change the name, so I could rename the columns, for example, to start date. And let's call this one end date. There's probably a way to, when I import it, I bet I could have just imported the column headings. Location. Let me just do this quickly since I'm here. And let's just do this last one. Rename. Event. Say OK. And now I have all the information I need in here. I can do all sorts of additional things like add comments to a specific event. I can add attachments, lock rows, all sorts of things, set alarms, all sorts of different validations and reminders. And if I want to see it in that calendar view that I mentioned, I just, again, simply switch calendar. I can say that I want to do the whole date range from start date to end date. Say OK. And guess what? Boom. Now I have a calendar view of information. I can open up one of these. I've got event, start date, end date, all of that information. Extra columns that are there. Columns 5 and 6 were there. If I go back, we can even remove those. Or let's say I don't want that one. Let me delete this column. We can rename this one to something like notes, for example, if I just wanted some additional information. And there we go. There you have it. Very, very easy.